let's dive into the MLB playoffs because after, 6-7 months of baseball and regular season, 162 games, the postseason is set. So let me give you guys the breakdown of the brackets real quick, and we shall predict the games. So the AL wild card consists of the Minnesota Twins and the New York Yankees. Much to everyone's surprise, I mean, the Twins lost 100 games last year, and they are in the wild card game.
What a turnaround, man. What a turnaround.
The Boston Red Sox will take on the Houston Astros in one of the division series, and the Cleveland Indians will await the winner of the Twins and Yankees. And then going over to the National League real quick, the Colorado Rockies are in the postseason for the first time since Rocktober in 2017. And I tell you, Rocktober, I mean, you want to talk about team slogans, and things that get fans fired up. Rocktober is one of those things for me. And I'm not even a Rockies fan. So,
real quick, we have a caller.
Oh, we do? Who's on the line with us right now?
Mr. Braden.
Braden.
From Phoenix.
Braden in Phoenix. You're on the air with Weston, DeWitt, and Eliav. Gabay. What's up, Braden?
What's up, guys? Long-time listener, about fourth-time caller. So
We love it. We love it every time. We're just talking about the MLB postseason. So actually, I have a question for you.
Oh, yeah.
Dodgers. What happens with them? I know you're a fan.
And don't be a homer, Braden.
I'm going to be a homer. Get those rings ready, baby.
Oh, my goodness gracious. What did he just say?
There it is.
I mean, you can't act like it's an outlandish prediction here. 104 wins for this team. I know they had a rough September. I get it. But I really think that this team, at the end of the day, has what it takes to iron out those mistakes. Now, am I concerned? Yes, of course I am.
Yes.
I mean, it's the playoffs. When you're a Dodger fan, you've seen so many rough playoffs, especially in the past 5 years. But I think at the end of the day, the leadership core of this team will be enough to push the Dodgers over the edge. I think Justin Turner will come up clutch. You have a guy that's a leader that nobody talks about, like Chase Utley. He will be for this team. And I think Kenley Jansen and Clayton Kershaw will have a great postseason. And I think if they can get by the Diamondbacks, that'll kind of be the hump that they need to overcome to give them that momentum and to have that belief that they are still the best team in baseball. Because there might be some slight doubt, but if they can beat the Diamondbacks, I think that propels them all the way.
And that's where I was headed with that, Braden. They're going to play the winner of the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, and everybody around here is talking. Dodger fans left and right around here talking, oh no, what happens if we play the Diamondbacks? They swept us. They murdered us. And now there's a potential that the Diamondbacks could be playing the Dodgers. Are you sure you're not worried about that, Braden?
I am worried, but at the end of the day, I look back to those last two sweeps that you're referring to. Who started pitching for the Dodgers? You had Hyun-Jin Ryu, Kenta Maeda. You didn't have Clayton Kershaw. You didn't have Yu Darvish starting for the Dodgers. So the Diamondbacks haven't seen the two best arms for the Dodgers. Now, I think this series will go deep. Absolutely. Now, I hope the Rockies just win, so this whole conversation is irrelevant. But if it does end up happening the way that we all kind of expect it to, it'll be a great series. But I think ultimately the arms of the Dodgers will prevail over the inexperienced Diamondback rotation as well as lineup. They are not playoff experienced.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that. I really think that at the end of the day, the Dodgers have so much experience. And the difference between the past and now with the Dodgers is that this pitching staff is just stacked from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And their bullpen is ready to go for a postseason run. So that's why, in my mind, that's the biggest difference with this Dodger team. And that in addition to that, to beat a team like the D-backs, to beat those other teams that are really challenging them, could be the Nationals. You never know if they can pull it off against the Cubs. At the end of the day, these Dodgers are so experienced. Even the young guys are experienced. Even the guys that have been in the league for 2 years are experienced. So that's going to be the difference.
Braden, great phone call. Appreciate your insight. Not so much of a hot take, but he's adamant that the Dodgers...
He's got one more. He's got one more.
He's got to get a firm
one more thing. If the Dodgers do lose, you can join the long list of people that can give me some crap.
Will do. Oh, you can bet on that, Braden. Good to talk to you again, Braden. We'll talk to you again. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Braden. Oh, that guy. He's unbelievable. He's something else. Let's get back to the postseason real quick. I was breaking down. I was giving the outlook. So the Cubs are going to play the Nationals. As I mentioned, the Rockies and Diamondbacks are going to play in the wild card. The winner will play the Dodgers. So when we look at this from an overall standpoint, at the start of the season, Eliav, I predicted that it was going to be a rematch between the Cubs and the Indians. And now both of my predictions are still in there. And after taking some time to chew on it, I still think that the Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Indians are going to meet in the World Series for another rematch.
Well, I'm going to disagree because I'm going to agree with Braden. And I'm going to say that the Dodgers And the Indians, which my preseason pick was also the Dodgers Indians.
And that's right.
I'm going to stay whole with my preseason pick, just as you are.
Yeah.
For all the reasons I just gave.
And so, but when we look at the overall landscape of this postseason, and we got the Red Sox taking on the Astros, that's a big match. That's my most exciting matchup, in my opinion.
That is a very
because
fun
you got
matchup.
Justin Verlander for the Astros. You got Dallas Keuchel, Colin McHugh, excuse me. Try and say that fast 3 times. And Rick Porcello for the Red Sox. And that offensive powerhouse for the Red Sox. That series is especially, I'm really anxious to see how the Red Sox hitters are going to go up against Justin Verlander.
Does David Price show up?
No. Because history...
Another postseason?
Because history, I have years and years of postseason history to back it up. It's like the Diamondbacks. I believe firmly that I don't think the Diamondbacks are going to win this game between the Rockies. I got the Rockies winning this game.
Oh, I have the D-backs.
Okay.
Because it's in Chase Field, man. It's a stuffed house.
And I understand that.
And this team, this rotation is solid. You got Greinke pitching. Do you have? I want to know some facts on the Rocky side as to why they can beat the Diamondbacks team, besides the fact that history shows that Diamondbacks lose big games.
So for me, I've been a big believer in John Gray, and he's going to be starting this game for the Rockies.
Coming off being hurt.
He has missed some time this year. He's 10-4 this year. His ERA is just a little bit below 4. And for me, I look at the lineup for the Rockies, and I try to compare it to the Diamondbacks. I see the lineup at the top. You start with Charlie Blackmon at the top, who's an MVP candidate. Then you go down the list. You got Trevor Story. You got Nolan Arenado, Carlos Gonzalez, and then you got guys down there. Even their catcher can hit the ball. And when your catcher's hitting well, then you got some good things, because we've talked on this show a lot. The catcher's main job on this show is the catcher's main job is to game manage. And when the guy can hit as well, which is what the Rockies have, they can pull this off. I got the Rockies winning this game. It's not going to be a blowout. I don't want people to misconstrue me. I think the Diamondbacks are going to have a chance. But at the same time, this Rockies team has put up massive numbers. Blackman's hitting .331, for goodness sake. DJ LeMahieu's doing his thing. They acquired Jonathan Lucroy, another big bat for the Rockies. And then Ian Desmond's up there. They acquired him for this specific reason. Ian Desmond has postseason experience. The experience that the Rockies have on the roster, for me, exceeds the Diamondbacks for some reason. It just does. And I got the Rockies winning this game very close. I'm going to say somewhere along the lines of 8-6 or 8-7. I'm going to go 8-6. I'm
going to go, listen, I've been, well, I guess you can call me a Diamondbacks hater this season, because I didn't think they were going to do much of anything.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was going to last.
I'm a Diamondback fan.
But I'll say this. The Diamondbacks are going to win this game by a lot.
Really?
They're going to win this game by at least 4 runs.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you got for a score? Are they going to put up 10 runs? How about this? Let me rephrase the question. Are they going to put up 10 runs?
No. I'll say it's going to be a 7-2 game. 7-2 game Diamondbacks.
And I understand.
And the reason, and I already said the reason, I said the momentum's behind them. With this team, with this D-backs team, momentum, like baseball in general, of course, but with this team, you've seen momentum in the beginning of the season. I mean, they were just rolling, baby. They were just rolling. And then you saw them slump hard.
They were 51-28 at one point.
And then you saw them slump hard because the momentum was against them. And then now they're building it back up. They've been solid to end the season. And I don't think the Rockies were able to handle it. Question. We talked about Red Sox, Astros. Who do you have coming out of there? Because, and can the Astros, which will probably go hand in hand with your answer, find that magic that they had for so long this season?
I have the Astros winning this series in 5 games. And I think
5 games, okay.
Because it's going to go, because I see the offense for Boston just being the biggest reason why they stay in this series. Because the pitching for Boston, it's not bad. But we talked about it. When you're trying to put the chips in the middle of the table and you say, David Price, deliver me to the promised land, it hasn't worked. And at the same time, Houston's bullpen is strong. Both bullpens are strong. But when it comes to Game 5 and when it comes down to it, they're going to send Verlander out to the mound. Verlander's been in that spot, been there, done that 100 times. Verlander's going to go out there, and he's going to pitch lights out in that Game 5, and I got Houston winning and going to the next round.
I'm going to say Houston as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Houston as well, and I'll say this because their team has shown more consistency and has shown more they've just been whole all season through the injuries of Altuve, Correa. I mean, those guys, they're their bread and butter right there. They're the reason this team is special at the end of the day, in my opinion. And they're good. They're ready to go. And that's why I'm going with the Astros.